Yo, it's Guido coming at you with the Tactics Talk. Welcome back, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate your support. If you'd like to do so, there's 3 ways down there in the description that you can do so. But I do appreciate it. Throw me a subscribe, like, whatever you'd like to do for here. We've got Nabalhorn in his AMX 1357. This is a great premium light tank. I mean, absolutely fantastic. So we'll watch Nabalhorn take out this 5916, and this is his camera view, dude. I don't know what's. Why were you not looking at the... I don't know if that's an artifact of the replay or... That was really strange. I think I would have definitely been looking at that guy so I'd know if he was going to go behind something and I wasn't able to hit him. But in any event, you take him down, and that is what the 1357 does very well. It is a fantastic counter scout, especially if you can put a lot of the rounds into him. Now we got this T50-2 raging around. Let's just watch, because Nabal actually doesn't take part in this. We'll talk about it in just a minute. But look how much raging around this guy is doing. I mean, he goes all the way through there. The whole hornet's nest is completely stirred up. There's people going in every direction. There's guys up on the sniper hills shooting at everyone. It's complete chaos. But Nabalhorn hangs out in the bush. All right, so this is the reason I brought all that up. We're going to watch the T50-2 make another runner and eventually die. But Nabalhorn kind of hangs out in this bush. This is a pretty nice little forward bush right here, especially if they're trying to mess around up there in the bushes ahead of them, because there's a shot that you don't take. Not wanting to be spotted, I assume. Which brings me to kind of the point of this video, and the reason I wanted to feature it and show your very good game here is... Oftentimes, especially in the recent past with the replays I've been getting, I get some great replays, but I look at it and I'm thinking, all right, they were great, but how great could they have been? And I think you need to ask yourself that even on great games. And that's hugely important if you want to get better at the game and understand why you won or why you lost. All right, so if you understand why you won and why you lost and you're honest about it, as opposed to looking at a really great game and saying, all right, I won, I did great, I'm awesome. I did X damage. I had 6, 8, 10 kills. We won because I did great and I'm awesome. Well, maybe, but maybe if you look at it, break it down, unpack it, you won because you got a little lucky, and then you were able to turn some luck into a little better position. Maybe the enemy team was bad, and that's important. It's not to look at yourself and go, well, I only win because I'm lucky. That's not the point. But it is a matter of being honest with how you won or lost and taking that information and trying to get better at it, right? So even in wins, we can do that. So I'm going to pause it because while I was yappity yapping, we sat there for a long, long time, didn't we? We hung out. Now, I'm not saying he needed to YOLO in, but I think he had some opportunities, especially when he had so many shooters up here, to start coming up in this area down here, popping up and seeing guys. And what I really don't like that you do here is you leave the Type 62. With that Type 62 right there, especially as he is that damaged, I would have come up on this little ridge here and eliminated him. And what we're gonna watch here for the rest of the game, and you've already sort of seen it, is Nabalhorn is going to be very passive, doing a really nice job of kind of finding things and keeping his hit points, but not a great job of paying attention to the minimap and taking out guys who are near deads like that Type 62, which is exactly what this tank does. So you are now in a more permissive, even though there's still a lot of guns in the game, based on the positioning of your team, you are in the assassin zone now. You need to turn this thing now into the guy who's taking out the near deads, getting behind things like the Saint Emil and the Skoda up there and taking them down. So let's watch, let's get going again. And we'll see how Nabalhorn does it. I mean, I definitely would have absolutely taken out that Type 62, but you leave him alive. So we're going to go past here. We go all the way past here. And again, we just kind of go past all of that. And I think you had an opportunity just to tuck yourself up behind this building here with your peeking out and take these two down. And you'd have had a very permissive environment to do so if you'd have killed the Type 62, which I think just took a shot at you right there. So kill him as you approach, move up here. As soon as you light them, kill them, and then bail out if you need to. But what you do is you go way inside here, and we get in a bush, and I guess we're trying to be sneaky, but everybody sees us because we already went through. And stopping in that bush just really wasn't. Now, this is not a bad idea here because this guy's unaware. He's aware now. And you're behind the building, so you're fighting more than one bandit at a time. And that's an important skill. Try to expand that out a little bit, because we're going to see another example, much like the Type 62, which I believe is dead now. Somebody got him finally. Or is he still... Nope, he's dead now. We're going to see a couple more opportunities here where you probably should have engaged. That was a nice little job backing out. I don't know if you're still spotted or the 178 just plain old saw you, but he gets a chunk out of you. Now we're backing. I would have gone forward and bailed out of this position. Just run away and go dark. Backing out's not the best idea because you're just slower doing that. We're going to jump in this bush. Okay, fair enough. We don't want to get double tapped by the Cromwell and the 178B. And from now on, you're going to have all kinds of guys running around over here in the top. And this Type 64 is absolutely shootable. I mean, take him down right now. Yeah, you're going to miss a couple shots. And I think another problem people have with this tank is because it has a fairly limited ammo amount, a lot of people are very leery of taking these lower percentage shots. But you're in crunch time now. It's time to start using the shells that you have, and especially dangerous things like Type 64s who have very good view range on this map. You want to get rid of them if you can, and you had all kinds of shots. He's not particularly mobile, and he's kind of moving around, so he's going to give you some opportunities or he's kind of circling around a little bit. He's going to give you several opportunities in the game where he's not giving you a lot of line of sight, and it would end up being a fairly easy shot. And so then, as I was watching this replay, I'm thinking, well, what's the plan, man? What are we doing? Look at the Cromwell is now lit. Got a Cromwell sitting up there. Now we can't quite get to him. But we don't even investigate it. And I talk about that a bit. You know, you need to investigate shots as much as possible. The Cromwell's lit. That's what you're looking for on a mini-map. What's lit and what might I have shots on? So you're always trying to create your own opportunities. And what we're doing here is, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know what we're doing here. Maybe looking for the Cromwell and the 178B, but realize that your spotting point is on the turret and you've got the front of your tank stuck around the building already. So they're going to see you before you see them at this point. And we're not really investigating, what is this Cromwell that's lit doing? Do I have a shot on this guy? From that range, no one's going to see you. When you shoot at him, finally he dies, so that's a good deal. And we move up. I like this. But the approach is bad. I don't understand why we would come up here when we have bushes here. So always work to put bushes between you and where you think they are. You're probably thinking there's some in these bushes here because you didn't find them here, obviously. You would have been lit. So they've bailed off this ridge. They might be down here, potentially one or two of them. Or they may have all kind of gone back to this area. But in any event, instead of coming up here, why not just drive straight to this bush, hang out here, and take a looky-loo? See what's going on down there. I would then be trying to work towards the bush that's in front of them. I'd be trying to get to this one because you're a little bit closer. Or just put these, there you go. Now you got it. You find that nice bush, and now they're not going to see you. You have a very hard time. They have to drive right up on you. And I would have probably snuck into that next level, and then there goes the 178B, and I'm thinking, fantastic, kill him. Kill him. Kill him. Kill him. Okay, all right, fine, we got this guy. Kill him. So we look at him, and we're zoomed in, and nope, we're okay. Guys are dying. Okay, that's a double bush. So that's something to think about. You finally go for it. Man, I would have been blasting away at that guy. The other problem we have here is, if I can't get it, there we go. The other problem we have here is that's the ground right there. So we could help ourselves by moving up and changing that angle. If I move up forward into this bush, let's get this darkness going away. If I move up forward into this bush a little bit, then I'm double bushed here, by the way. If I move up forward into this bush right here, then I'm going to have much less of the ground involved. Right, so I get a better angle because I've gone forward based on the angle right there. Then I'm going to see more of him. But we take some shots in here, finally get some in, and somebody takes a shot into their blind, their types or your Type 64, and then another opportunity. Now, I will somewhat agree that you didn't shoot at the AMD at the first because he was down in here, and I think you'd have been spotted. You could have tried to back up, but I don't know if you'd been able to get 15 feet away, 15 meters or whatever it is. Or however far enough away it needs to be to make the bush go dark so that he couldn't see you when you fired. I probably, being aggressive, would have gone after him a couple times and then bailed out if I was lit and ran away, but at least take a few hit points. However, once you got rid of the 64, it's time to start blapping this guy. And I think he's getting towards the edge of his view range. You look at the circle down there as he approaches that line, the white, it's kind of whitish greenish for you. So he approaches that line because that thing's view range is terrible. Now's the time. I'd have just put that pipper right on there and started blasting. And hopefully he comes out of there either dead or with a lot less hit points and somebody else can take him down. But we just let the AMD rage around. Again, he's one of the most dangerous guys on the board right now. In addition to that, now we've got one of their tanks in our backfield, and we're just chilling in a bush right here. Chilling like a villain. And again, I would ask you, what's the plan? I think we all saw that shot come out of there, and maybe you did too. It ends up being the GW that fired. Had you moved up earlier, we're looking for this guy. Had you moved up earlier, maybe that GW doesn't get that shot because you find him, right? You're in their backfield. Let's go make it happen. I'd have kept moving. You get very lucky here. He's going to blap you. Bam. The AMD hits you. He hits you. Somehow the AMD doesn't kill you. But now he's up there and he knows where you are. So we're going to push through here and go down towards their back. Now, I would have gone back probably a while ago now to clean up that P43 TER or to move up to the top and challenge that AMD for that good spotting area up there and make it so his eyes are not working against your team. What it looks like you're doing is we're going to go after the artillery. So we come in here. Probably should have forced a reload a long time ago. I think you may have thought you might have been able to find the artillery, but guess what? 3 shells will not kill an M12. So you needed a full clip anyway as I moved in. And this thing does reload pretty dang quickly. So as you moved out of those bushes up there behind you, then I would have absolutely pressed that. And all of a sudden, here comes the AMD. And this is pretty fun. You get a little bit lucky here. He actually tries to ram. The AMD is that little thing is one of the lightest tanks. I mean, the 1357 is light, but the AMD is even lighter. Now you push in here, you figure the artillery's probably here, but instead of waiting till you're reloaded, you just keep on coming in, and that costs you a little bit because now we got to wait. Plus we're stunned. I'd have just stayed there right next to him instead of backing up. This thing has a hard time with gun depression, and you got these little undulations. So it takes us a while to figure out how to get a shot on this guy. And I just got right up next to him and taken him out. We get there. There we go. But I think that could have been much easier if you'd have just got up next to him. Obviously, be careful of him being able to tap you because he's so much heavier he's going to do damage. That may have been what you were thinking, is just making sure he doesn't somehow kill you by running into you. And down with tanks as light as this one, based on the way they do their collision, sometimes just a tap will take you out if they're heavy enough. And we'll come back this way. We got a P43 and a Cromwell. I'd have been headed straight for the backfield to get that P43 out. Good news is your guys take them down, but then down goes the Sturv, and now it's just you and an artillery. I'm going to go ahead and go faster on this because we come across. Be careful about approaches that go straight across fields. What I would have done on this one is I'd have been headed through the buildings here because there's cover with the intent of helping to take out the P43. Once he died, then up through the little village at the top so that you have view on each side, and potentially if he's hiding in here, you find him blitzing straight across the field. The good news is he was nowhere near up there and able to spot you, but you didn't know where he was, so I definitely would not have blitzed straight across the field and allowed him to have a shot. But nice job here. We're going to end up killing this guy for the ace tanker. There we go. 6 kills, 2,478, 1,043 assists. Really nice job, man. The points I have there are mostly about minimap awareness and maybe being a little more aggressive with your scout, slightly less passive. The other thing to note for this particular game is you were one of the top tiers, so you really needed to contribute damage, and you did. At the end of the day, you did 2,400, which is really nice job. But again, it's that question that I started with. I'm like, okay, that's good, but what's it better than what, right? Could I have killed a couple of those scouts in there and maybe preserved a few more of my own tanks? I really think you could have. And that's why we then look at these replays and go, hey, I had a great result. Have somebody else put a different set of eyes on it and give you a different idea of what it was. If someone came back and said, well, this is a terrible game, you're awful, well, that's not the answer. And that's not what I'm saying. The point is, you had a great game, but there were definitely some things you could have done a little bit better in it and had probably an even better game. Or, interestingly, maybe a slightly less good game damage-wise, but more of your allies live and you win faster. Sometimes people, that's what they're in it for, is just their own DPG. And to some extent, you do sacrifice teammates when you're more of a sit back and snipe. This is not what I saw here. That's not what I'm saying you were doing. But it is kind of an interesting dynamic with the game. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. Time to get to some streaming, and we will see you.